extending the boom pole like magic.
So I just saw Doctor Strange, the newest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Ew.
I just love saying that cinematic universe, DC universe, which is kind of
Yeah,
but Marvel.
Would this be classified as the first cinematic universe?
Marvel being?
Yeah. Has there been a cinematic universe before this?
Doctor Strange is about a doctor. He does whatever he can with his hands, and they are very majestic, and he's very good at it.
He's a neurosurgeon.
That's the word I was looking for. I just did not know what it was. And until one day he kind of gets a little texty text and while he's driving and then crashes and then it ruins his life.
Morals.
Morals. I totally don't text and drive.
While
driving.
You just swerve and drive.
I just swerve and drive. I do not swerve. Okay. They're freaking out because I was driving really fast and we just watched a movie where someone was driving like 100.
It was a little reckless.
Dude,
You went to Nepal.
Nepal and bada bing, bada boom, he learns all these crazy new stuff that he didn't know existed, and he doesn't believe in faith until he actually sees it. And then he practices into it, and then we get into the villain, and then, he has to find who he really is, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But does it fall into the tropes of regular Marvel formula? It does. It does have that same Marvel feel, like good guy, he loses something he loves, he regains who he is, and then he's learning all these lessons, and then the bad guy comes, he fights him. Of course, spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. It's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
He wins.
It's not like the Marvel movie's gonna kill a main character in their debut movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be gutsy.
That'd be really cool. Hashtag Rhodey. Hashtag they're all wimps because they don't want to kill anybody. I get it. Infinity War. Besides that,
You're doing verbal hashtags?
hashtag. I'm sorry, I have to. I felt like they did something really different in the third act, and I will get to that in my positives, but we're right now on the negatives. And so it's a very minimum negative. I'm going to start off with that.
Right now we're mad.
I felt like there could have been more emotion in certain scenes. There were some scenes where the effects were a little bit joggy, in my opinion. I felt like they could have been touched up, tripping out. It was probably in the very beginning of the movie. That was the only scene that I was like, I kind of feel out of this. Mads Mikkelsen did an amazing job as the villain, but he's barely in the movie. His backstory, there is no backstory. I know it's very bad to say this as a reviewer, but yes, the eye candy helped. It did. I loved it, especially with him and his powers, and it helped his character a lot. The visuals in this movie basically helped this movie a lot, because it makes you forget about some certain things. But yeah, Mads Mikkelsen is probably the biggest negative, but also a positive because he did a great job.
For what he was given, he did good.
Yeah.
For what he was given, he did good. He had a couple of really funny witticisms and one-liners.
Talk about humor. Great humor.
But of course, when it's time for him to explain himself, he's like talking about like, oh, we used to be friends, da-da-da. I was like, oh, compelling. The heroes get all the love.
The heroes, and that's the game. Leading into my positives is Benedict Cumberbatch has probably given one of my favorite performances in a Marvel film. Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One was fantastic. I loved her action sequences, and I loved her character too.
She's legit.
Like, she was honestly, sometimes I was like,
legit actress.
Sometimes she kind of outdid Benedict in not acting, but for being a BA.
Oh, she's got some years up on him.
Yeah, she's like, no spoilers, but she's a little bit on the old side.
Well, they call her the Ancient One.
Yeah, if you didn't get that. Scott Derrickson is another positive. The director from Sinister doing this movie did such a good job. I was very proud of what he did. Even some of my friends were kind of like, whoa, I'm kind of tripping out right now. Like, it's not like they hated it. It was just some scenes that were just like, I'm kind of glad I didn't see this in 3D. But it's kind of funny because there's a lot of people that say that you need to see this in 3D.
I just don't like 3D.
I love 3D, the final act. I'm not going to say what happens, but it was very different and very quite humorous at the same time, but very intense also. And I was just like, this is very different, and I have really enjoyed it. Shout out to Jeremy Johns. I love you so much. I wish we could be friends. I live in Washington too. We should go grab I was going to say beer, but I'm not 21, so a juice box or something.
Grab a joint. Oh, you got to be 20.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. Overall thoughts. This is a very good step for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A very good, solid step for a new character. Go see Doctor Strange. It's a very good film. I think it's very family friendly too. And the action, there are some intense sequences, I will say that, but nothing too gory or bloody. Score for Doctor Strange. I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. I give it a B- if we're doing a grade, but I don't usually.
B+.
Before I end this video, I would like to hear, and
Uh-huh.
hopefully it doesn't last for 20 minutes,
Uh-huh.
the thoughts of...
I'm not familiar with this character. I don't know these villains. I don't know this character. I don't know this particular branch of Marvel. Watching what I watched, he was great. I liked this character. I liked his witticism. So the car accident that he's in, way too extreme for me to believe that the only thing he lost out of it were his hands. The pacing of the movie was my biggest problem with it.
Pacing? I love the pacing. That was my worry about it.
That was, honestly, for me, that was kind of the one that was like, what is happening? Like, he just gets good really fast. And once he becomes, like, adequate, once he's, like, able to do a few things, a good portion of this movie moves into real time. It doesn't skip any events. So once he's adequate, he's suddenly good enough, smart enough, and skilled enough of a fighter to fight off these people, multiple people, mind you, who've been doing this for years and have several of these arts mastered.
We don't know how long he was there, actually. We don't know. It could have been 4 years, could have been 1 year, could have been 2 months.
Yeah, the movie doesn't do anything to tell you how long he's been there. There's not some kind of montage or some kind of line or some kind of dialogue that's like, you know, you've studied wisely these past 4 years, my Padawan. Something like that. Just something to give me some sort of definition of how much time has passed. Then no time has passed.
I think it wasn't like a month or 2 months or even a couple months. I think it was actually a year or
But
two.
they keep saying, like, you're learning fast. How did you do that so quickly?
I am not excited to hear your score. What is your score? It better be a freaking 60% or a 6.
My score, no, it's higher than a 6.
Oh, sweet! Oh my god! I'm in love with this man.
No, I didn't think...
I thought we were going to give like a 5.5. Mediocre!
No, no. My score is a 7.3. 7.3 out of 10. I thought...
I was close. I thought you were going to give it a 7.5 or a 7 at the lowest. That's it for my Doctor Strange review.
That's everything.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell everybody about Joseph Curtis.
Tell them all about him.
The movie guy or whatever my name is. So.
You need a name.
And what am I going to do to end this video?
Gosh. I guess you could say what your next movie is going to be.
Okay. Tune in for my next review for Hacksaw Ridge, starring Andrew Garfield, directed by Mel Gibson, and I'm predicting it probably going to be one of the best movies of the year. But you'll have to tune in when I drop that review for you guys, so look out for Hacksaw Ridge, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
Drop that till you get sore. Drop that till you get sore. Drop that.